Hey. Well, here we go, I'm experimenting. I wanted to talk about a game, so here's a pilot episode. And obviously, you're starting to know me, I really like Transformers, the movies, some of the series, and the games. Even though in recent years it's been a bit rough, yeah, RIP Transformers Reactivate. Back when the movies and shows were hugely successful, making video games tied to them was kind of the obvious move. For Michael Bay's first film in 2007, the game wasn't too bad. It more or less follows the same storyline as the movie, but without the secondary human characters. What I mostly remember is its difficulty, though to be fair, I was playing on the Wii, not exactly the most refined version of the game. Another frustration was not being able to play as some of the cool characters from the film like Ratchet, Bonecrusher, and Brawl. On the plus side, the game does give Autobots and Decepticons some time to interact and get a bit of development. Even if it's superficial and has aged, it's still respectable. At its core, it's a fairly average third-person shooter, like many others out there. The missions are repetitive, vehicle handling is more than questionable, action sequences lack energy, and the camera angles are practically enemies of their own. But the game is pretty generous when it comes to environmental destruction. You can blow up buildings, trees, random vehicles, so that's definitely a plus. It was also a chance to encounter some fun drones, and even Shockwave. I'm not a fan of his design here, but it's still a nice nod. I don't think I feel that much nostalgia for this game, I didn't play it as a kid, and the boss fights were hellish too. Barricade absolutely wrecked me, and Bumblebee was about as manageable as a horde of crack-fueled kangaroos. The reception at the time was very mixed, and I get why, but I also understand the nostalgia it can bring together. It can serve as a more or less satisfying alternative to the movie, and there are honestly some pretty cool moments. The ending of the Decepticon campaign with Megatron on the throne is iconic, in my opinion. As for me, I find it more interesting to roam around and do my own thing in free roam rather than play through the story mode, even if it hurts the game's longevity. I don't feel much nostalgia for it, but in today's video game landscape, I can't help but be glad it exists. It's something to sink your teeth into. If there's one game I feel more nostalgic about, though, it's the sequel. The adaptation of Revenge of the Fallen. But that's for another potential video, if this one on the first game does well. So overall, Transformers, the game is a new take on the 2007 movie story. An interesting angle, but packed with flaws and some pretty frustrating gameplay issues. As you can tell, I'm a bit torn, but overall, it's hard to play nowadays, or maybe I just have zero skill, which I'm willing to admit. Finally, I've heard talk of a remaster, but I don't even know if it's official or just a badly translated fan rumor. Since there are also rumors about remasters of War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron, I figure the games based on the first 3 Bayverse films could get the same treatment. While we wait to see if any of that gets confirmed, I'll see you in the next video.